If you look at music history, new technological inventions very often led to new artistic formats and artistic possibilities. Our project perhaps is a starting point in that direction to find out what is the ideal way to work with AI. Ricercar is an AI-based composition system for contemporary music. It has been developed since 2019 at Ars Electronica Futurelab and since 2023 in parallel also at the University for Music and Theatre in Munich. You can imagine it as a playground where composers can actually change every parameter of the system and work with it to create very authentic and individual concepts. Ricercar is trained with public domain classical pieces, but especially for this project, we also created a new set for fine-tuning consisting of Johann Strauss music.
The selected composition students from the 4 participating universities in Vienna, Salzburg, Munich and Zurich collaborated with Ricercar over the course of several months to develop their musical pieces. And each of these pieces then formed one movement of the bigger Walzersymphonie.
To be able to shape the system technically, an intuitive understanding of inner working of AI is very, very important. Therefore, we went to the participating universities to make them able to understand what they can change, what are the possibilities here to technically shape the model.
Working with Ali and trying to understand how the AI works to begin with. And the main approach was to challenge the AI with sort of musical prompts, so giving it a phrase and then seeing how it would respond in a musical context to that phrase and seeing how we could having this sort of question-answer sort of format in music.
The Bruckner Orchester Linz brought these pieces to life on 2 occasions. The audience got a first glimpse of it during the opening night of the Ars Electronica Festival 2025 in the new cathedral in Linz, and then the full premiere took place in the Musikverein in Vienna.
Okay, I have a lot of material, a lot of noise from the AI. How do I order it? How do I make a form? How do I really use the AI as this tool? And how do I not come into the temptation of just letting the AI do something just because it always does?
Creativity in the context of this project is not limited to the musical output itself, but it's also about finding new ways, new possibilities, how to use this new technology, AI, to create new ways of artistic expressions.
The main idea of the piece is to produce different layers with the AI. So I have these chaotic things that don't correspond in any way, and over time they slowly arrive at the Donauwalzer.
I worked with the theme of AI as a mirror to the society, so the theme of bias and discrimination. And it's also the text is dealing with discrimination, but also musically is discriminating because the AI we are working with is trained with European music and mostly Strauss music. And I was challenging the AI to work with to try to deal with non-European music.
Welche Rolle?
Dr. Blind.
Nun sprich, Beginn.
Ich stell mich vor, ich bin Tenor, ich zähl jedes Frauenohr. Ich stell mich vor, ich bin Tenor, und nach dem Publikum.
When we work with the machine, we come to results that we wouldn't come on our own. And maybe it's good and maybe it's not good, but it opens up options that we wouldn't have if we didn't have this.
Sie singen nicht schlecht.
Yeah, so I see it as a collaboration. And even though I can say which parts are from me and which parts are from the AI, I think they're mixing really well together.
Talent ist bei uns kein Argument. Wenn kein Intendant sie kennt.
This special project, I think it was very important also to know the processing background, the open question, the open possibilities, how can we use the technology. And if you look at the results, you see so many different approaches how to use the AI in that context. And I think it is also an aspect of the project that make it very valuable, at least for me personally.
I think we went in there with a problem. We wanted to see how would Strauss work in the context of the 21st century. Ricercar for us was more of a mechanism with which we could explore the possibilities there are, because its database is obviously much bigger and it is programmed to do exactly what it does, which is a very cool feature. So it helped us generating material that has a unique and distinct sound, which we would have never achieved on our own. So it was a big, big helping tool for us. In the end, he felt like a partner, but also kind of like a tool. I think it's somewhere in between.
Artists are not used to work with a system that can also take artistic decisions by itself. But some kind of autonomy is needed here for generative AI to be creative at all. And this is something that we have to find out, what is the balance here? How can we shape the model so that it can be autonomous, but at the same time what it creates is something that is individual and authentic.
I would definitely not consider it as my piece, in part because it was done with another human and also with AI. Whenever we had like something very, very specific in mind that we wanted to achieve, it was like, okay, it's not really going where I wanted to go. But when we were more open to working with it, it gave us other ideas we could work on afterwards. In the end, it's another tool to approach composition, maybe in a different way. But at the same time, I think I also do like to give some agency to AI and respect it as I would another human, so that this flow of conversation can be maybe as organic as possible. If we think critically about AI and think about our own perceptions and the way that we interact with everything, then it could really open our minds to more possibilities.
Of course, it's a research project. At the same time, the output is real music. And at the moment where the orchestra starts to play, the experiment becomes real.